There is a pattern that quietly shapes most human lives, and yet very few people ever stop to question it. Have you? Or have you simply been moving forward, reacting, adapting, adjusting, without ever asking why? It begins early. As children, we move through the world without filters. We express what we feel. We don't question who we are. There is no distance between what happens inside us and what we show. But that doesn't last. At some point, you start to notice something. Some parts of you are welcomed, others are not. And without even realizing it, you begin to change. You become more acceptable, more controlled, more aligned with what the world expects. But here's the real question. What did it cost you? What parts of you did you silence just to fit in? What emotions did you learn to hide just to be accepted? And more importantly, are those parts really gone? Or are they still there, influencing you in ways you don't fully understand? Because they didn't disappear. They became your shadow. And whether you see it or not, it's still there. Have you ever reacted more strongly than the situation required? Have you ever felt irritated by someone without fully knowing why? Have you ever compared yourself to someone else and felt like you were falling behind? What if those reactions aren't about them? What if they're about you? Carl Jung believed that what we reject within ourselves, it doesn't disappear. It gets projected outward. So let me ask you something. What do you criticize most in others? Confidence, emotion, ambition, weakness? And if you're honest, is it possible that those are the very traits you never allowed yourself to express? This is where most people get it wrong. They try to control their behavior without understanding what's driving it. They try to appear calm while chaos builds inside. They try to act strong while avoiding what feels uncomfortable. But let's be clear, is that really control or just suppression? Stoicism speaks about discipline, about emotional control, about inner strength. But what if real strength isn't about silencing what you feel, but understanding it? Because think about it. How can you control something if you don't even know where it comes from? If your reactions are automatic, if your decisions are driven by fear, comparison, or the need for approval, are you really choosing? Or are you just reacting? This is where self-awareness becomes essential, not as a concept, but as a practice. So, ask yourself, how many of your decisions are actually yours? How many are influenced by expectations, by fear, by the need to be accepted? And when was the last time you sat in silence, without distraction, without noise, and actually listened to yourself? Or do you avoid that? Because if being alone with your thoughts feels uncomfortable, what does that say? Is it really silence that you fear, or what you might find within it? Most people spend their lives trying to escape discomfort, scrolling, distracting, filling every empty space. But what if that discomfort isn't the problem? What if it's a signal, a sign that something in your life isn't aligned with who you really are? And if that's true, how long can you ignore it before it starts affecting everything? Your decisions, your relationships, your sense of direction. Because here's the truth. What you don't face doesn't go away. It waits. It shows up in patterns, in repeated mistakes, in the same feelings, with different faces. So at some point, the question becomes unavoidable. Do you keep running, or do you stop and look? Not to fix everything at once, not to become perfect, but simply to understand, to see clearly, to recognize what is yours and what never was. And that's where everything begins to change. Because once you understand what's happening within you, you stop reacting blindly. You start choosing how to respond, choosing what matters, choosing who you want to become. And slowly, something shifts. You rely less on approval. You compare yourself less. You feel more grounded, not because life is easier, but because you understand yourself better. And that is real strength. Not control from the outside, but clarity from within. So let me leave you with this. If you've spent years looking outside for answers, what happens when you finally look within? And if something in this made you stop, even for a moment, maybe that's where your real journey begins. If you're ready to understand yourself, build real inner control, and stop living on autopilot, subscribe. Because this channel isn't here to distract you. It's here to make you think. And sometimes that's exactly what you need.